Hey, what's up guys? My name is Kai, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to make a simple moving platform. So I'm gonna just create a blueprint for it, and everything will be stored in that blueprint. So go into a content browser, right click, blueprint class, and we are gonna do it of type actor. And I'm gonna name mine BP underscore platform, like so, and open it. And then what we are gonna do is we want to add cube. This will be our platform, so I'm just gonna rename it to platform. And I'm gonna scale it down so it actually looks a bit like platform. There we go. Then with the default scene root selected, we are gonna add sphere. You can use any other objects as well, but I think sphere works just fine, so I'm just gonna go with that. I'm gonna scale it down a bit, but so it's just still very easily visible. And I'm gonna change the material on it to, let's say, body M, just something that's more visible than the white. And I'm gonna rename it to start point. And then I'm just gonna scroll down into collisions and select no collision because we don't want to call this starting and ending points to collide with anything. With that, I'm just gonna select the start point, Ctrl D to duplicate, and I'm gonna call this endpoint. Now, that's basically it here. Let's go into event graph, delete these two events because we are gonna only need event begin play. And the first thing I wanna do is I'm gonna add a delay. This is basically the delay after we start playing, before the platform starts moving. I'm gonna set mine to like 3 seconds, just so that you are able to see when we are actually testing this, that it works properly, but you can obviously just not put a delay there at all if you don't want it. Then we're gonna get the platform, and we're gonna do move component 2, which is this node. Plug the move into the delay. And then I'm gonna take all three of these and just duplicate them and plug them into each other like this. And then I'm gonna put another delay here, so just duplicate this. And then we want to cycle it back, so I'm gonna drag from the delay and then move it into the move. But as you can see, it kind of overlaps and it's hard to see, so I'm just gonna Control Z that, and I'm gonna reroute node first, and then I'm gonna plug it into the move. Just gonna drag it here so it's easier to see, like this, and there we go. So with that being done, I'm just gonna quickly explain what the delays and timers are for, because this is something that you're gonna be adjusting yourself based on the project. So basically the delay here is just the delay before the platform starts moving after we launch the game. Like I said, you can just skip this entirely. I just do it so you can actually easily see that it works. However, these two delays are important because every time the platform reaches a point, whether it's the end or start point, we wanted to wait for a second because we need the player to maybe get on it. If it just keeps moving, it can easily just glitch out. So this delay basically is for how long the platform stays in one place before it starts moving towards the other point again. So I'm just gonna set it to 1.5 on both of these. I find that that works pretty well. There is enough time for the player to step on the platform. Now we need to plug in the other information. So we need target relative location. And for that, we created the start and end point. So I'm just going to drag the start point and end point. The end point goes first because if I go into viewport, you can see that we are already at the start point. So I'm just going to get the end point and I'm going to drag it here just so you can see it, but you don't need to do this. Go back into event graph. And we want to get a relative location. It's this vector variable, and plug that into the relative location. And then we're going to do the same thing with the starting point in the second component move to, and plug that into the relative location. So then we have rotation. We are not going to do anything with that, but if you want your platforms to rotate for some reason, this is where you do it. Is in and out. What these do is basically, if you check them, it means that the platform will be moving a bit slower when it first starts moving and then when it's almost at its destination. I usually just check this on all of these because it just makes the movement seem smoother overall, but you don't have to, of course. And then we have overtime. And over time, what I wanna do with this is I wanna drag from it and I wanna promote it to variable. I'm just gonna keep it as overtime. And I wanna compile blueprint so we can set the default value, and I'm gonna set the default value to 3. And basically what overtime is in this node is that how long is it gonna take for the platform to move from one point to the other. And then I'm just gonna plug this into the other node. Another thing that I wanna do with the variable though really quickly is instance editable and expose on spawn. Check that in the details. That way, and you're gonna see this really quick, when I go into the board and I place my platform somewhere, we can under default see the overtime, and we can change this for different platforms. So if I drag this one here and I'm gonna duplicate this and drag one back here, I'm gonna set this to 1 second and you're gonna see that it moves way faster than the other one. So the way you operate with these is you have the platform here. This is where it's gonna start off as. And then we have this endpoint. So with the platform selected with the blueprint, scroll down here in the details and search for the endpoint. And then you can just move this wherever you want. You can even like move it up here. And then I'm just gonna do something similar with this one. I'm just gonna move it, let's say here. And now when I go and hit play, you're gonna see that in a second they're gonna start moving. And as you can see, they both move to the endpoint and then back to the starting point. Hey guys, just a quick addition here. I assume most of you will not want to see the end and starting points when you are actually in the game. So the quick way to do this, you can just go into details and search for hidden in game under rendering. Click on that, and for the end and start point, you can't see them in the game anymore, but platforms will still move to those points. So I hope you found this helpful. As always, thanks for watching and see ya.